Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the On the Go Show with Jacob and James. Let's get up and boogie to the beat of the On the Go Show. Don't be lazy, come on and get up, get down. Let the fun take over your body. Dance to the rhythm of that funky beat.
Have you seen the Tiny Chef thing?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen a couple people talking about it, and I've seen their reviews on it. And basically, he's getting canceled from Nickelodeon, and he talks in a weird language, so you can't really understand what he's saying. So you have to kind of he has like captions underneath, and they called him while he was gardening or doing his usual stick, and they called him and told him in so many words that he's about to get canceled. So once he found out, he was just like, "Oh, okay, cool." And I it hurts. It hurts a lot. And then once he got the phone with him, he tried to continue his regular day. Like it was just like, well, I lost my job, and he tried to dust some more, and then he just broke down. He just crashed out. My man just crashed out.
It's a lot of people are like now coming to this thing's defense. They're like, give him the show back.
I think the most surprising person that came out of all this was E40, which I will never understand what E40 saw in Tiny Chef.
Really?
But yeah, E40 came out. I was like, E40, like Florence Pugh. I get. I said, okay, white. English girl, okay, I get that. Anybody white, I understand. But E40, a rapper, I will never understand that. That's my boy. I love E40, but I did not know E40 was at home watching Tiny Chef.
Oh man, I don't know. I saw that, and my thought was like, this is great marketing because you got canceled, and their immediate thought was, we're going to guilt trip the crap out of this television network right now. Because also it's stop motion, right?
Yep,
so you have to put in the time and effort. And not only that, James, they're continuing to make videos of just Tiny Chef being sad. There's another one of him like facing away from the camera, sitting on his bed, playing Paint It Black by The Doors.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like half the song. He actually goes into singing the song, and then at some point in the video, the camera just falls over.
Damn.
Then you can hear him sing the song.
Man, this sucks, man.
I respect it. I respect the marketing because like it's so genius because like by the end of the week or next week, or maybe even like the week after that, they're gonna get picked up by either again Nickelodeon or another streaming service. Like they're gonna get picked up by somebody to continue.
Yeah, he's coming back. He's coming back. He's not going nowhere.
There's no way. Yeah, and I think they raised like $100,000 already for them to continue the show. So some way fashion or whatever, they're coming back.
Yeah.
Thank you. Jeez. But I don't know. It's hilarious to me. It's sad because it's a little creature, but it's also just funny at the same time where it's like, this is genius. This is great marketing.
Yeah, that was funny. That was cool. I like that. Well, I mean, I don't like that he got fired, but yeah, I thought that was cool.
Right. Oh, man. Anyway, any whoosies. Which one do you want to talk about first? You want to talk about F1? You want to talk about M3gan?
We can go and get M3gan out the way.
All right, man. So Joel came up to visit over the weekend. I finally guilt tripped him to coming to San Antonio because he's always going to Houston for stuff. And I'm just like, hey, man, I live in San Antonio. You should come to San Antonio. Finally got him over here, and we were looking for something to do. And there's like a rage room nearby, like maybe 10, 15 minutes away from where I live. But it's really expensive. It's like $40-$50 a person. So we're like, all right, screw that. We'll come back and do that when we have like a big group of people. Because I want to they have a deal where like you can pay $700 and beat up a car with your friends. So we're looking for stuff to do. And I'm looking at movies, and like F1 is up there. M3gan 2 is up there. I think 28 years later, still out. Final Destination was still playing for some reason. And so we decided to go see M3gan 2.0 because it's like, hey, look, it's a big, dumb robot movie. We don't have to take it seriously. We're just going to go and have fun. We ended up watching this movie, and we had a good time with it. I enjoyed it. I had fun with it. I mean, obviously, it's cheesy. It's stupid. I don't think you liked the first M3gan, if I remember correctly.
Did I? I don't know. I'll have to go back and see. But I think I liked it. I think I liked it enough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought you didn't like M3gan. Yeah, I thought your opinion of M3gan was like the.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty much. Yeah, I mean, it's a weird film because I actually saw it too because I was trying to save time because I wanted to watch F1, so I wanted to hurry and get that out the way.
Right.
And that's why I went on and saw M3gan too and got it out the way. You just continue though. Continue. I want to hear your full thought before I give my opinion.
Yeah. So we had fun watching it. Like, again, silly, cheesy. We laughed at the little one-liners she had. As far as the story goes, I like the change. I like that they didn't try to do like, oh, she's back as a killer doll and she's trying to kill the ant. Like, the whole story was, I guess, like, M3gan never really died, right? She's just always kind of been around, like, in the cloud internet or whatever. And so the technology that originally created M3gan was sold to another company. And then they ended up making, like, I don't know, a Terminator, essentially. And that Terminator goes rogue. It turns out it was like a Trojan horse of some sorts. And the FBI immediately thinks it's Gemma, which is the ant in M3gan. And they immediately think like, she's behind it because she made the first M3gan. And I do like how at the beginning of this movie, James, that they point out the fact that she did go to jail. Like, she got arrested from after the first M3gan movie, which I'm like, you know what? That's a nice touch. That's a good follow up. Because, yeah, you made a killer robot, you should go to jail. And then I found it funny that she, like, rebranded herself to be like, we should let kids play with AI and technology. I've learned my lesson, it's bad. And she's doing, like, TED Talks and whatnot. So, anyway, FBI thinks it's her, and it's not her. So M3gan reveals herself, and M3gan's like, hey, I've been kind of following things that have been going on, and, like, we're being, this other robot's going to come take over the world or whatever. I loosely remember the plot, right? It's not... not that memorable, I suppose, but yeah, it's just fun movie. Fun movie. I like the twist, not the twist, but I like that they leaned into the silliness of just like, hey, everyone thought the first movie was ridiculous, so let's lean into that and let's kind of change it to this like weird action espionage movie. I thought it was a little too long though, because towards the end, I definitely started feeling like this needs to wrap up pretty soon here. Like, we've been in the theater for a minute. I'm kind of making out. True. You know what I mean? Yeah,
that's true.
So, like I said, I do like how they kind of like twisted it's not just another killer doll movie. It's not the same. Like, it's not a Chucky. The first one was like Chucky-esque, and it's kind of smart when you think about it, because like she is an AI program and she was programmed to protect that little girl.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why she went rogue in the first movie. And since then the AI has learned that like, hey, you don't have to kill people in order to protect this little girl. I can just protect her from afar. And I'm assuming she like hacked into some banking system or whatever and somehow gave them that loft that they're in the movie, because they keep bringing up like, oh, hey, how can you afford this place? It's like,
yeah, because you don't really have any money.
Yeah, you have no money, but this is like $3,000 a month. And then like it's revealed that there's like a bunker and she's been trying to like rebuild herself. It's like this hideous robot. It was a fun time. We had fun with it.
Okay.
So,
well, what would you give it? What would you give it?
I want to say a 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. Okay.
All right. 6 out of 10, because I didn't think it was like necessarily a bad movie, but also it's like the Meg, right? It's a big dumb movie. It's not make you think, right? It's not like an intellectual film. It's just like turn your brain off, enjoy it. So yeah, but I did have fun with it. Okay. So 6 out of 10. I think that's a fair number.
Yeah, that's a fair number. So with the first one, I don't know where I liked it or not. Well, it came out during the time when it came out, January, I think, something like that. So it came out during COVID, where COVID was still
like January, December.
Yeah, January, December, one of those months. But I know it came out during the time where it wasn't really competing with anything. Right. So, they thought, hey, let's put a movie out against F1 and what's the other movie? 28 years later. So they decided to put a second one out. Now, I will say I commend them on trying to do something different. I thought it was something different, because I'm going to see a film today that I'm pretty sure is not going to be any different from any film I've seen.
So, gee, I wonder which one that one is.
Yeah. So I will give them credit for that. The movie was a little bit too long for me. I didn't find any of the jokes this time as flattering as I did with the second one, as I did with the first one. It didn't really land. It didn't land for me at all. The characters in particular really done anything for me. The guy that was, I kind of already knew who the bad guy was like 10 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, for sure. As soon as they introduced the boyfriend, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
I was like, okay, all right. Well, I see where this is headed.
Yeah.
You know, I wish the movie could have been rated R.
I'll agree with you there, because there were kills, but they weren't like kills.
They were like off-screen kills.
Yeah.
For the most
or like
part.
shadow.
Our shadow kills, which, originally the movie was supposed to be rated R. This franchise was supposed to be rated R, and they decided to make it PG-13 because they wanted to make more money off of it. So, that's why. And I get why they want to turn it into an adventure movie too. With that, I get that as well. The girl, the aunt, I forgot her name, but
Gemma.
Gemma. Did not like her. I didn't like her in the first one. I didn't like her in this one either. She seems to think like she knows it all, and she clearly doesn't.
Right, yeah. I mean, she was slightly more likable in this one, I think, because in the first one, she was really annoying in the first one because essentially she made Megan. I mean, she was already working on Megan before, but she really made Megan to take care of her niece because she didn't want the responsibility, right? That's kind of the whole. That was kind of the whole point of the first one. That's kind of the point in the second one a little bit, like where she's trying to stop people from using technology so much, right? She kind of flips. But yeah, she was really annoying in the first one, and in this one, I get what you mean because she did that overprotective parent storyline that we've seen a million times, and it's like, all right, I mean, we know where this is gonna go.
And I don't think her niece needed any protection. Like the girl she knows how to defend herself.
Yeah, she put her in like judo classes or something, some kind of self-defense.
And you still study hiding out and hiding different things that you've done to us. Like, just tell her what's going on so that she knows what's going on. Just tell the child what's going on in the house. Obviously, you just saw a whole bunch of agents walk in. So what do you think happened? The FBI just busted in.
Also, why don't you own a gun?
Exactly.
Like you got attacked by a robot last time. At least have a gun.
And then another thing, too, if you're the FBI and you need her help, why are you just busting in the house, creeping in like you doggone serial killer?
Yeah, that was silly, too.
That was silly to me. I was like, all you had to do was just call her up, come there with your FBI gear on and say, hey, this is what's going on. We need your help. If you don't want to help,
or we think you're involved.
But think you're involved and you'll get tried. Cool. That's no problem. But all the extra stuff was a little bit too much for me. That was a little silly. Overall.
No, it had its issues.
Yeah. As usual, but overall, I give it a 5 out of 10.
That's a fair review as well.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure this is probably the last film because, this movie, it did pretty poorly. It did pretty poorly.
I'm looking at the budget now, and the budget was 15 to 25 million, which not a bad budget, comparatively to some other movies. Yeah. But it only made back so far 18.1 million.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's been out like what, a week?
Yeah. So it's going to die even longer.
Yeah, I mean, globally might be able to push it over that budget line, but not by much,
Not by much. Yeah, that's pretty much probably the end of this franchise, which I'm praying that it is.
It did everything it needed to do, right?
Yeah.
You have your horror movie, and then you have a redemption arc. I don't really see where the story can go from here anyway. I know, like, people have joked about, or it's been talked about, like, have a Megan versus Chucky movie.
Absolutely not.
The ending of this does set it up to where it's like, okay, I can see, like, now she's kind of a good guy. So, like, yeah, she could fight Chucky. But let me tell you, if they ever made that movie, Megan would demolish Chucky. She connects to the AI, she connects to the internet. She could destroy the little doll. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I gave the movie 5 out of 10. It's definitely a franchise that should just go away. It should just go away. It just live on streaming.
Yeah. No, for sure. I think this is a definitive end or a good end. I don't think it needs to continue. Not everything needs a sequel or 2 or 3 or 4 or spinoff.
As we previously seen, some of these movies do not need a sequel.
No, not at all. So
and it was even worse that you tried to run up against F1, a Brad Pitt film. Like I don't know what you was thinking with that.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird weekend to come out, but I suppose it's like, look, if we don't push it out at the end of June, we can't put it out in July because we'll get demolished.
Exactly.
So the only other time would have been to like maybe push it till October.
Yeah,
because you got to get it out before November, December, because then you got Avengers, right? Or no, you don't have Avengers this year. Never mind. They could have put it out a little bit later if they wanted to, but
yeah, it could have done September.
Yeah, I think August, September might have helped a little bit more towards the end of the summer.
I think it was just something they just wanted to hurry up and get out the way so that way they can move on. Because they
Fair
know
enough.
They know they kind of knew what this movie was. They just like, let's just put it out so we get it out the way.
On the Go podcast with Jacob and James.
It's decent.
You wanna give me the review for F1?
Yeah, F1. Because I saw it right after Megan. I had to wash that taste out my mouth. And my expectations for this movie wasn't. It was high, but it wasn't crazy high. Like I thought it was gonna be the best movie in the world. And I don't know how Jurassic World or Superman or Fantastic Four will do. I was pleasantly surprised on how good this film really, really was from start to finish. I see why the hype is real. The hype is very real. You know, once again, it's the same director that did Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick. I don't understand how he gets it done. He gets it done. It's the second time he got it done. Now, I don't think it's quite as good as Top Gun Maverick. I don't know how he does it to get simplistic films done, simplistic stories, complex characters, and good acting. And that's seems to be the formula in this case. It was definitely good. The visuals were amazing. And what I like about this film in particular is because they finally do something different, which is actually do the sport that they're talking about. There is talking, but there's more racing, as a movie should do. Not just more playing, just not more dialogue. It should be more racing. And the movie has plenty of racing scenes in it. Plenty of racing scenes. And that's what I love about this film. It doesn't shy away from the sport that they're promoting. And you don't have to be an F1 person. You don't have to be a race car driver fan to watch this film. It explains and lays out everything perfectly. You know, Sonny, played by Brad Pitt. I don't think anybody else could have played that role. I truly don't think anybody could have played that role. You need somebody suave, sophisticated, and kind of got that, not maybe sophisticated, but got that hippie type vibe to him. He's playing this guy who's the greatest champion there ever was. He got hurt. And he got to step away from racing. Then you got Damson Idris, who is essentially a young upstart, but is really not that good himself. And, you know, the team that he's a part of, the IWC, his team is really not that good either. So it's like he's trying to get all the fame, all the fortune. He's trying to get people to notice him. No one's really noticing him because he's not as popular as Lewis Hamilton. Or he doesn't have a popular ride like the Ferrari. He doesn't have a racing group like the Ferraris or whatever else is out there. So it's just, you know, and then you got Javier Bardem, who always turns in a good performance no matter what he does. He's really good in here, who plays like the owner / the guy that used to run with Sonny, Brad Pitt's character. Yeah, he drags him back into racing and say, hey, you want to drive some F1 cars? And Sonny's unsure if he want to drive the F1 cars. Then he gets behind that wheel. He does a couple things here and there. He's a very risky driver. You know, he toes the line. He toes the line of, and what I like about this film, it explains everything. They're like, oh, so this is how the rules of racing goes. This is how this goes. So that way, it never phases out the people that never watched race or never watched F1 racing. And it does a really good job explaining every single detail. And that's what I like about this film a lot. And I definitely see why this film is getting, and that's what I was trying to explain last week. That's what I was trying to explain to you last week. You can have simplistic movies. It could be just a racing movie. But if you don't have good acting, it's not gonna perform. And you got good acting and the characters are complex. And you know, you also had the pit crew. They had their own individual storyline for maybe about 30 minutes or so. It didn't really last that long, but they had their own individual storyline as well. So it helps when you have all these different factors that come into a movie, and what makes the movie even better. I definitely see why this film's taking off like it is, taking off life of its own. This is probably the biggest film Apple's ever had. You know?
Oh, it's Apple, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
This is the biggest film Apple probably has ever released in the theater that to do this good, other than Killers of the Flower Moon with Leonardo DiCaprio. Like, this is the best. This is probably the best film that's ever performed for them. So I was pleasantly surprised on how good this film was. And I don't know if it's going to beat out Superman or Jurassic World or Fantastic Four, but I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised at this point.
Currently, it's still trying to make its budget back because I'm looking at the numbers here. It's got 161.9 million in the box office, and the budget was between 2 and 300 million.
It definitely has a shot.
It does have a bit of a chance. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely has, because we'll have to see what Jurassic World does this weekend because it's taking up all the premium screens. So, but it definitely had a shot. Like I want to watch it in 40X because I feel like that was probably the best experience to watch it in 40X or IMAX.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
It definitely had an opening weekend. Had a hell of an opening weekend.
You know, you brought up that it's like a simplistic storyline and whatnot, and it kind of made me think that I think that's what the audiences are looking for these days.
Yeah,
is more simple storylines. Not to say that like they can't comprehend more difficult storylines or whatever, but I think it's just like give me something simple and good that I don't have to like do homework on, and it's easier to digest or easier to kind of like sit through versus bigger action movie or bigger movies with like complicated parts and like history or things that you maybe need to know before you go in, or like simple good movies are always going to be good because it can appeal to a wider audience, right?
Yeah, the story's good and it lines up with what everybody wants to see, then it can do good. I'm going to give it 9 out of 10. All right, good rating. 9 out of 10.
Hey, if you enjoyed the episode, email us. If you enjoyed the email, jeez. If you enjoyed the episode, let us know at onthegopod2023@gmail.com. If you want to follow us, you can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at On The Go with Jacob and James. You can also find us individually on Instagram at jacobdantone.audio, and you can find James at
James9794.
And without further ado, I'm on the go, James is on the go, and we are all on the go.